So midweek magic, into the future, arena alchemy only decks. I know people have opinions about alchemy. I have my own opinions for sure. But these are cards I'm not going to get to play a whole lot with, and I get to play them for free. So I'm going to go ahead and try some of this out. We're going to take a quick look at each of these decks and give my overall thoughts on them before picking one and doing the games. So a lot of things I recognize here: Gas Scheduler, Hellish Sideswipe, Wrench, Pilot, Momentum Breaker. Susceptible of Destruction is the first one new to me. Whenever one or more creatures die, put a wreck counter on this enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, if this enchantment has one or more wreck counters, remove a wreck counter and seek a non-land card. To seek, put one random card from your library into your hand. Okay, I don't hate it. Terrors of the Track. 2 for a 2/1 flying double team. Double team is when a creature with double team attacks. If it's not a token, conjure a duplicate into your hand, then both of them perpetually lose double team. Perpetually means throughout the game. Whenever this creature or another creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So really, I create a copy token that goes into my hand that I can then play again that cannot do the same thing. Another creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. This ability triggers only once each turn. Okay, it's fine, and the flying actually makes it pretty okay. I wouldn't hate to have seen this, or maybe something slightly similar, in Standard, because a flying 2/1 dinosaur at 2 seems pretty cool. The rest of the abilities is not necessary. Thrill Seeker we're well aware of, Our Victory we're well aware of, Unforgiving Overtake. If you weren't the starting player, this spell costs 1 less to cast. Destroy target creature or vehicle, its controller loses 2 life. So a 2 mana murder that also makes them take 2 damage if we are not the starting player, in an on-rate murder, and opponent loses 2 life if we are. That seems fine. Throw Roller. If you see my Is It discard, you actually know I'm pretty big on this card. I still think it's one of the best cards in that deck, even though in my very recent Mythic climb, when I tested Is It discard there, wasn't overly happy with the deck. Masterpiece Vault, I have seen this one, and I want to play with this. Masterpiece Vault, when this artifact is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draft a card from it, put it onto the battlefield with a card, and when that card enters this way, attach it up to 1 target creature you control, 5 to sacrifice it. And you get, can I see? Okay, we can right-click for more. So we got Lightning Greaves, Sword of Body and Mind, Sword of Feast and Famine, Fire and Ice, Light and Shadow, War and Peace, and the Champion's Helm. The collection in here is fantastic, and the art's good. I believe this art is actually from an older set or something, but it looks lovely, and you get to pick. It's not random. So I do think this card's really good. I do question the ability of using this if we have to use the 5 mana to sacrifice this. I really feel like we want something else to sacrifice with it. And I don't think anything we have lets us sacrifice it ourselves. So that's curious. Spike Spitter was really good in Limited. It's a fine card. Highway Reaver is also new to Alchemy. Whenever this creature attacks or enters or attacks, target creature card in your graveyard without Unearth perpetually gains Unearth. You may pay the Unearth cost to return it to the battlefield, and the Unearth cost is equal to its mana cost. It also gains haste, but is exiled at the beginning of your next end step, or if it would leave the battlefield. So, short time frame, and it's got to be a creature. This does have a max speed component. You may pay 0 rather than pay the Unearth cost of the first Unearth ability you activate each turn. We do have to get to start your engine's max speed, but honestly, I don't think that's too difficult in this deck. We've got quite a bit of things, and honestly, some of the best enablers of speed in the game. Speed Brood Stalker. This is another card I have seen, and this is pretty cool. When this enters, you choose target opponent. Secretly choose a creature or planeswalker they control, and then they have to sacrifice a creature or planeswalker of their choice. Then they sacrifice the one you chose. Some pretty cool mind games here that I just don't think fit well into regular Magic, but I am actually down to see and try. Small Smasher I have not seen. This is a Mutant Berserker for 4 and a red for a 4/4 menace. Start your engines. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage, conjure a duplicate of target non-token creature into exile. Conjure being a conjure card is added to the game. And then at max speed, at the beginning of your combat on your turn, put all cards exiled with this creature onto the battlefield. They gain haste, sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. Okay. I am fairly interested in this, and I thought I would be given its Rakdos. We don't have a whole lot of removal. We have Momentum Breaker, we have Hellish Sideswipe, and that's really it. We have a little bit of Tutor, and I think we've got some strong top-end stuff. I think the deck can certainly win in a lot of setups, but it's not amazing to me offhand. Let's see what the next ones are. I think we had, let's actually keep track. We had quite a few bombs. Probably 1, maybe 2, 3, 4. And we're fairly aggro. And then we've got 4 removal spells. Okay. Ready for takeoff. Nesting Bot, Glide card, just the 2 of Bounce Off, Market Back Walker, Hangerback Assembler. Start your engines for a 1 and a white artifact. When this enters, conjure a card named the Walker onto the battlefield, then put a +1/+1 counter on it. Max speed at the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each artifact, creature, and or vehicle you control. And this creature is a X and X, enters with X ++1 counters on it. When this creature dies, create a 1/1 Thopter counter for each. No. Yes, for each ++1+ counter on this creature. They also have flying, of course, and you can pay 1 and tap it and create a +1/+1 counter on this creature. This kind of reminds me of the Walking Ballista, I think it was called, years and years ago now, in Amonkhet, I believe. But I don't think it's nearly that good. It's okay. I don't hate it. I don't even really know if I consider this a bomb. I guess it kind of is. Yeah. 2, and then when do you play Hangerback? I mean, just 2 X +1/+1 counters on it's 4 mana. You're probably not playing this later than turn 6, which means it's just a 3/3 and 3 Thopters. It's not amazing. I'm not amazed unless we have a way to lord those Thopters. Interface Ace, Midnight Mangler, Surge of Acclaim, 1 in a blue. Choose 1 if you have max speed, choose both. Seek a card with Start Your Engines, seek a non-land card, and Jumpstart. You may cast this card from your graveyard by just starting a card in addition to paying the cost. And of course, Seek is put a random card from your library into your hand, but we can seek for a Start Your Engines or a non-land card. Pretty cool. I like the mechanic, and again, it's something I wouldn't really want to see in traditional Magic, but I do think it's kind of cool here. Guidelights, we know those are pretty good. Cloudspire Captains is Mountain Vehicles Lord. That does not count for our Artifact Thopters. Shame. Snare, so there's 2 removal right there. Bounce Off is kind of removal, but it's just back to the owner's hand. It's not everything. Deviant Skytech. Start your engines. When this enchantment enters, create 2 1/1 colors Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying. Sacrifice, create 2 Thopters. Okay. And you do need the max speed to sacrifice. Got a lot of Thopters going on here. Turbocharged Escape. 3 and 2 white. Sorcery, destroy all non-vehicle creatures. Then choose a vehicle control. It perpetually becomes an artifact creature. So, Skyforge, right? I think this is important to talk about first. Support Skyforge. 3, a white and a blue. I have seen this card in preview season. This is Flying Vigilance 4/4. For an artifact vehicle that when this enters, create 4 1/1 color servo artifact creature tokens. Whenever this creature attacks, draft a card from its spellbook. That card perpetually becomes an artifact creature. We've got Heart of Kirin, I believe. 2 for a 4/4 Flying Vigilance crew 3. You may remove a loyalty counter from a planeswalker rather than crew. High Speed Hoverbike. 2 for a 2/2 Flash Flying. When this creature enters, tap up to 1 target creature. Crew 1. A common Skyrift. 2/3 Flying crew 1. Smuggler's Copter, good old Smuggler's Copter. For 3/3 flying, whenever this creature attacks or blocks, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Harvester, flying when this creature enters, you gain 2 energy. Pay energy. This vehicle gains lifelink until end of turn. I do like that quite a bit. A response units in the main game, Hull Drifters in the main game, and Flagship is a card we haven't actually seen in a while. Flying whenever it Sky Sovereign enters or attacks, it deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls, crew 3. And then servos. I don't hate this deck. I kind of want to play it for funsies, but I don't think it's going to beat the Rakdos deck for me. I do think it can take wins off that deck, don't get me wrong. We've got a little bit of removal, a little bit of bounce, a couple of good bombs, and you might just actually win with Thopters and a Guidelight, right? Like, the deck is here. We've also got Creature Lands, which is worth mentioning. But it's going to be slower, and I think it will die to the more aggro decks like Fast, Frantic, and Furious. Really play this, I think, if you really want to get off on the Skyforge playing the Heart of Kirin or the Sky Sovereign console flagship. It is fun. I like the idea. Maybe I'll even do an extra video tomorrow just playing that, but I don't think it's where we're at today. Shiver Me Tinders, Grease Wrench Goblin, Mako, Skyray, Verbose Host is interesting. Kickoff Celebration ×4, Lightning Strike ×3, Sky Crash ×2, and our first Alchemy card, Flyby Trawler. Erebus, maybe? Eruus? Anyways, it's a 1/1 flying trample legendary shark pirate with whenever it attacks, seek a non-shark card. Okay. Seek again is put a random card from your library into your hand, but it can't be a shark. Discard that card at the beginning of your next end step. Whenever you discard one or more cards, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So it's kind of the mix of Mako and Skyray, with a Seek attached to it. Flying and Trample, by the way. That Trample and Flying is not irrelevant. 4 Boosted Sloops. 4 Broadside Barrages, which I am very high on based on my Is It Discard decks thus far. Just 1 copy of the Fearless Swashbuckler. Crew of 2 I have seen in spoiler season. This is a 2 in a red for a legendary human pirate with 3/3. It is a menace haste, and when it attacks, you may conjure the Nimble Pilferer over here, which we'll get to in a second, and put it onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. At the beginning of your next end step, if that card is on the battlefield, return it to your hand. And then this little monkey pirate for a 1 red, 2/1. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token, exile the top card of that player's library. Until end of turn, you may cast that card. It also has the dash ability for 1 in a red, which I actually don't know what does, and don't know if we have an easy time seeing here. So whatever the dash ability is as well. Yeah, I like playing opponent stuff. I don't hate this. It's a good bomb. It's not an amazing bomb, but it's a good bomb. Captain Howler, we see this in standard, so I'll skip it, but it is a good card, or at least has the potential to be one. Chomping Mastosaur, 4 and 2 red, creature dinosaur. 6/6, whenever this creature enters or attacks, discard a card, then seek a non-land card. When you discard a card this way, this creature deals damage equal to discard its mana value to any target. Yo, that's pretty good. I like that a lot. Yeah. And we got 4 of the Spirebluff Canals. We got 4 of the Verges. We got 2 Thundering Falls. Like, I think this is a real deck. Obviously, if you're going to play this in actual standard, you'd change up some of these things, some of the numbers here and there. But, like, in the meta that is just these decks, I like that a lot. I think both of these are probably solid. Let's go to Totally Exhausted. Our first 3-color, right? Yeah, our first and only 3-color. So we got Trick Hand Trainer. 1 in a blue for a Merfolk. 4 in a blue, draw a card. Exhaust blue, conjure a card named Training Grounds onto the battlefield. 1 and a 1. Training Grounds is a blue enchantment. Activate abilities of creatures you control cost 2 less to activate. This effect can't reduce the mana in that cost to less than 1 mana. Yeah, that seems cool. Very exhausty. Grease Wrench Goblins coming in to help that. Ranger's Refueler, Lightning Strike, Proud Catch Specialist. Sky Serpents, like, all of these are great cards, some of which I've had some success even playing in Standard. Mythic Standard. Ornate Imitations is one of the last cards I have seen in spoiler season. X, a green and a blue, for a Mythic sorcery card for each number between 1 and X, where X is in the casting cost. Conjure a duplicate of a random creature card with that mana value onto the battlefield. X can't be 0. I love this so much. If you're gonna make an online card game, which Magic is not traditionally, But if you're gonna do that, which Alchemy is, random cards like this are so much fun. Competitive? Not usually, but a lot of fun. Adrenaline Jockey we have seen. Afterburner Expert we have seen. It's just the one of those, so you're probably not going to see a ton of benefit from it. 2 Broadside Barrages, which I just mentioned, are actually pretty good. Solid Deck Boss, who is a Squid Pirate, and I love the art here. 1 blue and a red for a 3/3. Each creature you control with an exhaust ability has haste. So a haste lord for exhaust? Kind of cool. Whenever you activate an exhaust ability that isn't a mana ability, which is what? Copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. A mana ability is anything you have to pay mana to activate, right? What does that hit? Okay, I'm probably misunderstanding that card somewhere. Lands look good. Verges, Canals, Thundering Falls, District, Verge, Botanical Sanctum, Hedge Maze, and the other Verges. Like, you got the light lands here to play this deck. And man, if you're interested in Ornate Imitations, yeah, I think this is it. You got Lightning Strike as a little bit of removal. The exhaust effects are pretty good. You've got Broadside Barrages. You're going to play your cards out. You're going to get a whole bunch of creatures, and you're going to swing. It's a little... what's the vernacular? Timmy? It's a little creatures go face. But man, if you like that effect, absolutely that one. And then we've got We Ride at Dawn, which is green-white. I assume saddles and mounts. Glider, District Mascot, Molt Tender, Plow Through. Already some pretty good cards in there. Lynx, Fuel Tank Feaster is our first Alchemy card here. Ooze Druid, uncommon, 1 of 3. At the beginning of your first main phase, a random creature card with the greatest mana value among creature cards in your hand perpetually gains the spell cost 1 last to cast. Yeah, this is kind of cool. If you got a bunch of really expensive cards in your hand, they just rapidly start decreasing. Rapidly. They're going to go down by 1 each turn, and you can't pick which one unless you can only hold 1 card in hand. It is also add 1 mana of any color. It is at 2, but it's also a 1/3. But there's a lot of lightning strikes in the format, so this is probably going to eat one of those. It also dies to Broadside Barrage. It gets worse if it gets bounced, though not horribly so. It's fine. It's fine. It could be good if you get lucky. Great Fang Chroniclers. 1 and a green, 8 Druid at 2/2, double team. We've said that creates a duplicate into your hand, and then both of them lose double team. 3 and a green, conjure a card named Moraganda Petroglyphs onto the battlefield. Then this creature loses this ability, activate only as a sorcery. Creatures with no abilities get +2/+2 enchantment. And it goes onto the battlefield, so it's 3 and a green is mostly irrelevant. Yeah, that's cool if you got enough to make it useful. Routeway Moose, 1 and a green, Elk Mount, rare, 3/3. Whenever this creature attacks while saddled, seek a land card and put it onto the battlefield tapped. Saddle for 2. It's fine. Soul we know, Quick Beast Amulet, green and a white artifact equipment, rare. Starting intensity is 0. Okay. Equipped creature gets +X/+X, where X is this equipment's intensity. Whenever a creature you control enters, this equipment intensifies by X, where X is that creature's power. Okay, that's neat. So you play this turn 2. You basically don't do anything turn 2. Turn 3, you can equip it and play a 1-drop. And, I don't know, put up something by 1/1. But then later on, you're dropping this with... We just don't have anything super high. You've got the Ultimates we'll talk about later, which is an 8/8. But you could drop multiple creatures, right? Whenever a creature you control enters, this equipment test intensifies. Okay, it's fine. You can also move it, but the +X does not transfer, right? That's not attached to the equipment. That goes on to the creature. No, it doesn't. The intensity stays with the equipment, and then... But you need to then drop a creature to raise the intensity, and then that intensity will be applied to the creature. So you do need to keep dropping creatures to gift it after you do the equip, I believe. But you can get some monstrous creatures with this pretty quickly. How many cards have Trample? Glider has Flying if you saddle it. flying here, and trample on this. So not a lot of trample. I like this card in a vacuum. I think I like it. Like on the edge. I really need to play with it to know exactly how I feel, I think. I don't remember seeing much artifact removal in the game, though, in this limited construction environment. So I do think Quick Beast Amulet could be really, really good. Cloudspire Captain actually does matter quite a bit in here. Mountain vehicles you control get +1/+1. That's most everything. Naktamun shines again. Could very well be wrong on that first name. 2 and a white for a Saga. All creature cards you own with mana value 2 or less perpetually get +1/+1. So that should mean everything in your deck, graveyard, possibly exile, hand, field, all get +1/+1 if they have mana value 2 or less. I believe that's how that works. Seek a creature card with mana value 2 or less and put it onto the battlefield. And you'll notice we have a lot of our cards in the 2 slot. Like, this is a very heavy 2 card. We have 15 2-drops, 9 1-drops, and most of those are creatures. So that's pretty solid. You're hitting something. Creature control with mana value 2 or less gain flying until end of turn. That is pretty nutty. That's going off turn 6 at earliest, though. Do bear that in mind. 3 Perilous Snares, which is premium removal. Not only does it do good white removal by exiling a creature until this leaves the battlefield, but if we can get max speed, we can also start putting on counters for free once per turn. Veteran Beast Rider untaps everything, also can be a mana sink for the +1/+1. And then the Ultimus 7 and 2 green for 8/8 Ooze Giant Mythic. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control, which means it could be as cheap as 2 green. Trample, when this dies, conjure 2 cards named Slime onto the battlefield, and these slimes then have, when this creature dies, create 2 more slimes. Those, the ones it conjures, have create 2 1/1 green ooze creature tokens. So you just keep spitting out creatures that are hard to kill. I do really like this card. I think it's cool. And the lands are fine. You've got the Hushwood Verges and the Lush Surveil lands. Yeah. I like this deck as well. It might even... I mean, the creature is going to be hard to handle in this deck. It's got a little bit of removal where it needs it. It's got a Lord. It's got Evasion. I think We Ride at Dawn might be the better deck here. I like Fast, Frantic, and Furious. I would not hate to play this deck by any means, and I think Masterpiece Vault is my favorite single card we've seen so far. Especially for what looks like a pretty good potential equipment deck coming with the FF7 set later. If there's Alchemy set attached to that, I could totally see some Alchemy set equipment cards being fun, though I don't know enough about the overall meta in Alchemy to say much. Ready for Takeoff is kind of cool, but I think this might be the weakest deck. Support Skyforge is cool, and I really do enjoy playing it, or the idea of playing it. Guidelight, I think, is pretty sweet as well, and might just be a big enough win con in this deck that it is actually more competitive than I think. Shiver Me Timbers looks like a good Is It discard with some cool bonus stuff off the top. I do think you could win games with that, but I don't think it's nearly as competitive as the final 3. Totally Exhausted, I think, has the really good curve to it. I just don't know if Ornate Imitations is going to get you there enough. Like, often enough, you're probably not casting this for more than 3 or 4, I think, because you don't have any... Well, you actually do have Ramp with Sky Serpent if you can do the Exhaust in time. Let's say that you're not getting this for more than 6, though, which means you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana creature onto the battlefield that's entirely random across everything in Arena's database, not just the cards you can craft. That is a lot of variance, and I think most of the time you're probably going to whiff, and the rest of the cards here just I don't know if are going to get you through. So I think probably the most fun deck, but not the one we're going to play to get our wins. And so it's really between Fast, Frantic, and Furious and We Ride at Dawn for me. And I think it's We Ride at Dawn for me. Though Fast, Frantic, Furious, I would not be surprised if wins. So let's go ahead and enter this. Go ahead and pick We Ride at Dawn and start the games and see how those go. Let me know in the comments section below if you want to see me run any of the other decks. We have until Thursday for this to go. I might do a couple more videos without any comments, but definitely if you have something you want to see, let me know. Minamoto. Okay. Triple land, we got Double Forest and the Lush. Lynx, Cloudspire Captain, Shines Again, and Plow Through. Not the best opening hand by far. I'm kind of tempted to mulligan it. I think I'm going to mulligan it. I'd love to see a 1-drop. We definitely don't see a 1-drop. You then instead get 2 of these, which I think might be okay. I'm actually going to bend the Lynx. Yeah, I'm going to do something dumb. I'm going to bend the Lynx. I'm going to keep Snare and 2 Shines. And we're going to rush with the Verges into the Shrine. The Saga. We're going to try to just trigger those multiple times and get the win off of those. We've also got snares for any bombs that they might play. We drew into one as well, so I think we might be able to do this. They played a second Verge, but didn't activate either Verge, but they do hit the mana. Okay, there's Prowcatcher. They're the Exhaust deck. This is the deck I went on pretty hard saying that I don't think it's good. Of course, we kept a hand that has like no curve to it, so bear that in mind when judging my choices. Judge those choices more harshly than my deck tech, I think. Balls, they do the Surveil, they play Ranger's Refueler, that makes sense. We take 2 more damage. Do we need to snare here? I don't think so. I think we probably want to snare next turn. Yep, I don't think we need Glider. Okay, Brightfield Glider is now a 2/2. And that's also going to trigger and seek for us at the beginning of our next... this triggers at the start after your draw. Yeah. So we might play Brightfield Glider and Snare, depending on what they play here. I don't hate the idea of trying to take the Refueler away. Does this hit vehicles? Target non-land permanent? Yeah. But I think Deck Boss is probably the better target. But I don't know. What is a exhaust ability that isn't a mana ability? I've got to have my verbiage wrong there, right? Okay, we take 5, we go down to 11. District Mascot is a fun find there. We'll get rid of the Verge off the top. I don't think we need that. Unfortunately, that was a tapped land. And this takes how much to crew? 2? I think we snare here. Take away the Deck Boss. We save... I don't know that we save District Mascot here. Even if we have the option to. I think we just let it eat the Prowcatch. The second Deck Boss? Okay. 1 mana. There's no shocks or anything, so this shouldn't be a follow-up spell. Grease Wrench, okay. That has haste, of course. Boom. We might just need to put a lot of creatures on field next turn. We'll block something here. They can't exhaust anything. I don't really think it matters which 2/2 we block here. Go down to 6. You're going to trigger. And we'll play out some creatures, I think. Although Snare is tempting. Yeah, but we can just get the 4/4 Moose down, which helps us block anything and everything. They can saddle each other if needed, but we're not going to do that. I really wanted to play the Shines back-to-back, but I really think we had to play the blockers here. That's unfortunate. They're going to try to exhaust here, and we will finally see if Sala does the thing. Or if I'm very confused by Sala. I'm not really trying to figure out what they want to do here. They may be confused like we are. Or I am. My viewers may not be confused. You all are pretty smart. Routeway Moose. And this is not going to do me... I mean, I guess we can get lands off it, right? That's pretty big. I'm going to double block here. They're obviously going to do the exhaust, right? They're going to get a card draw off Ranger's Fueler. Does solid trigger? It does. Okay. So I guess this is not a mana ability. Maybe mana ability is something you can tap for mana. Or that produces mana. There are a couple of those, right? Like Boommobile wouldn't trigger then? Okay, so yeah, Solid's pretty good. Presumably he leaves us with nothing here, right? Because it's 6 damage, we got 6 toughness total. And then we drop Perilous Snare next turn and hope we draw a fast land to drop the Great Fang Chroniclers. I think that's my hope here. Opponent's certainly thinking. I hope they didn't DC. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I feel like they had every chance to still win that. We have no idea what's in their hand, but we got a pretty good idea what's in that deck. I still think they very much could have won. We were definitely on the back foot here. So, maybe give Exhaust a little more credit than I gave it, but we also kept a pretty bad opening hand there. Alright, first card. We get a Tidebinder. Okay, not bad. I definitely don't have a full set of those. They rotate out in September, I believe, but maybe we'll get the chance to utilize them before then. Ron Blue Mist. Speaking of the Tidebinder, though, I wouldn't mind creating a Brawl Merfolk deck. Y'all probably know how much I like Tribal. If you're new here, hi, I like Tribal. And that could be a fun inclusion for sure. I think this hand is pretty good. Forest, Mascot, Double Plains. I think we keep this in a heartbeat. I think I want Mascot into Quick Beast Amulet, into Shines Again, into Beast Rider. We'll see. Opponent playing the Rakdos deck. Gas Guzzler comes down. We could play the Verge here. I see no reason not to play the Verge. Quick Beast Amulet comes down. Opponent's tapped. We'll go ahead and get it for 1. I'm not blocking the Gas Guzzler, I think. So this is the way I think I want to go. Need a saddle to get more counters on Mascot. We unfortunately don't have other small creatures already ready to go to do so. And there goes Monumentum Breaker, or Momentum Breaker. We could drop Creature here then. We could also Snare. I don't think it's Snare time. I think Shines Again makes enough sense. We can Snare next turn. Gas Guzzler really I don't think is the target for Snare. What was in their deck, right? They've got the equipment stuff, which we can target. We could also just take the base card that comes down that eventually creates them when it's sacrificed. And they had some top-end stuff, too, that was pretty scary. So, Snare definitely stays in our hand for now. Creepy little spider over there cleaning its teeth. Oh, opponent, no. Not like this. Okay. Okay, they're still here. Our victory. Cool, cool. They get a 2/2 zombie. They'll hit us for 2. They'll go up to 3 speed, by the way. That could very well matter. They've got a lot of ways to use it. We'll go ahead and seek, and we'll get a moose. Oof. And Quick Beast Amulet gets 4. The shake on that was a little funky. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, I think it's Veteran Beast Rider here. The Quick Beast Amulet goes up to 7, by the way. And we have a strong wall of blockers all of a sudden. We also get flying next turn. Could we equip, drop 4, gain 11? Hold up. We can swing for 18 damage next turn? They've got Gas Guzzler's ability. They've also got Momentum Breakers. Heal. That's relevant. This is Death Touch and Haste. I think we just take it. It's 2 damage. We go down to 13. We can Snare. I don't know that we need to. They could have removal for us. I still want to do this. I don't know if this is right, but I want to do it. I think they have Hellish Sideswipe. And I don't know, we could play around it a little bit. I don't think this is awful. And just look at that. Holy crap. Also, it looked like Moose was getting the benefits of the amulet before I dropped another creature. So I may very well be wrong there. Are you flying? You are not, right? You are too high of mana. This gives them the opportunity to double tag and kill the Beast Rider. I'm fine with that. Do they want to do it, or are they just going to go with the 2? Gas Guzzler is a pretty good card right now for you. You could go get another one, though. Oh, okay. They just sack. They still take 15 flying, which means they don't have Hellish Sideswipe in hand. Oof. We've also got Snare for next turn, and we held back the blocker, except, oh yeah, we have Beast Rider, everything on taps, and I still have a 15-15 flying blocker. I don't think this keeps flying. Right, I'm pretty sure flying is just until end of turn. Yeah, just until end of turn. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. They do have a little bit more life. Momentum Breaker. Hey, I said it right that time. Momentum Breaker can crack and heal them for 4, but they've got to kill the Moose or block it next turn, right? And they can. They can hold back Thrill Seeker, block it, kill it, and then take 3, heal, and be up to 6. And oh, hey, there's their Highway Reaver. But I can just get rid of that. Goodbye. And is it worth saddling here? I think it actually might be worth saddling the Veteran Beast Rider. Because we're not going to kill them. And I kind of want to seek the land card. It's unfortunate Interest tapped, but what are you going to do? Now, the question they have to face is, okay, they chose not to block or to destroy it. That's fine. We still get to equip this next turn. They have to spend 2 mana to heal, and they need to drop an additional creature. And then we're still going to wipe their board, assuming we don't draw another Snare, which is our only removal in the deck. There's Deathless Pilot. Now they need to crack Breaker. They decide to go another Gas Guzzler, which enters tapped. And they do a Greaser's Goblin. Okay, so they got multiple creatures. We find another amulet. These are not legendary, so I do think we'll go that way. We'll go ahead and drop Fuel Tanker. I don't really know that it's doing much for me. I think we'll go get another land. I think that's right. Yeah, and then I think we swing both. Being a little more aggressive than I strictly have to here. I'm pretty sure I'm winning. And if I just let board build up, I think I can still win. But I think being aggressive and forcing them to make tough decisions is appropriate as well. I'm not sure which one is strictly better. They choose not to get rid of the Gas Guzzlers. They also choose not to sack one of the creatures. And I keep both my creatures and everything on taps. It's pretty rough for them. They can go up to 5 life now, but like, I can come in hard next turn. We got Intensity 2, Intensity 13. Okay. One of these cards get 1 cheaper. Will it select Shines again just because it has mana? Mana value? No? Does it have to be creature? Random creature. Yeah, we don't have creature. Okay. Let's do 2. Let's give the big one to our Veteran Beast Rider. Kill this now. And we'll give the other one to the Moose. They have no Death Touch on hand. So we're also going to saddle you with the Feaster. Again, I wish the land entered untapped. They can kill Moose. We get a Forest. Not bad. Can't let that through. Okay, they lose their Spike Spitter, which actually is relevant. The Spike Spitter lets them play the top card of their library. It's not an awful loss for us. Okay, they sacrifice the other Gas Guzzler. Draw a card. That makes sense. Again, if we had the trample here, it'd be amazing. We'll go ahead and play the Quick Beast Amulet, untap everything. And we've got a 16-17 Veteran Beast Rider. Shines again will end with us getting flying, so I think we have to play that next time. Masterpiece Volt is cool. They can actually crack that next turn. They need more. They have to block at least twice. Flying Double Team is something. I don't know if that's enough. You sacrifice it, drain one. I mean, that's cute. I like it. But that's game. Yeah. Whew, that amulet is even better than I thought it was. Yeah, I think the deck's pretty good. I think if you want to climb... I mean, we didn't fight everything. And we might have lost the first game. So, it's hard to say. But I thought that went really well. Grievous Wound from Duskmoor. Okay, yeah, it's a card. I don't know how crazy I am about it, but it's a card. We're going to go 3-0. Or however you want to count that first game. The Chandra avatars, I like it. Neither of them my favorites, but they're both okay. Planes into Glider, into Verge, into Fester, or Quick Beast. I like this a lot. Let's do it. In fact, I'm probably going to do Quick Beast Amulet, because getting out into that Quick Beast Amulet and equipping it to the potential flying creature is a recipe for winning quickly with this deck. A little Bloodbat. Guido, the Fervent. Oh, they got a little removal for our Brightfield. They could have Lightning Strike. I don't think they can use Sideswipe. Was Lightning Strike in the red-black? I think it was. Deathless Pilot comes down. Yep, we still Verge. I think we still Amulet. We might still Shines again next turn, I think. I was thinking Fuel Tank Fester instead, but we don't have any creatures in hand. And it only gives one to the amulet. Yeah, I think Shines again is the right play. Momentum Breaker, our Glider. Poor dude, never had a chance. They get in for 2. They also get to start your engines proc. Good stuff for them. Play our next Verge. We'll play Shines again. Everything perpetually gets something. Makes Fuel Tank Fester a little better. We more or less had to take this turn off, though, which sucks. Ideally, we only lose about 2 life here, but if they've got some tricks, they might get us for more. The Terrors of the Track is also difficult, because we don't have a lot of ways to handle that. Plow Through is probably going to be the way. Oof, nice. Shines again triggered, got us the Glider, which triggered the Quick Beast Amulet. What do we want to do from here? I guess we drop Forest, Fuel Tank, and then equip Quick Beast to Glider. It becomes a 6/6. And then we can do Plow Through next turn, kill off the Terror of the Tracks. We could do it to Gas Guzzler instead, which maybe is more relevant. Glider also can't fly unless it's attacking. Do they have artifact removal? I don't remember there being much artifact removal. There's some vehicle hates. Hellish Sideswipe, that might be artifact removal. It's creature removal for sure. Okay, they get rid of our Glider. I think that's good. They still can't get in with Gas Guzzler, I don't think. Tracks can, though. They can also sacrifice cards. They can also Momentum Breaker, gain some life. Go up to 25, which is not meaningless. They just get in with the Terrors, which does double team. Nice little icon there. They'll get in for 2. They can then play the double teamed. They will not be able to create more because it loses that ability now. Okay. We gained flying. I don't know how much that matters now, though. I guess we can drop out the other Fester. We probably need to plow through. We'll do the one that's untapped. And then we will equip Quick Beast Amulet. And get in for like 8. Okay. Not bad, but not great. They're going to get in for 2 more this turn. And we've only gotten down to 15. They've got us to 9. And we know that they've got enough in their deck to push through. Maybe if we find a snare. If they've got another Hellish Sideswipe, we might really lose here. Ooh, the other Hellish Sideswipe. They okay, no. They sacrificed the pilot. I thought they got the Rather Tears a track for a second. That would have been scary. Yeah, I mean, we can put that back on Fuel Tank Fester, but we need a winning card here. Can we see our deck with untap? We can. Routeway Moose is not bad, but not really what I felt like we needed. It'll be better next turn. I guess we'll get in for 12, right? We'll get in for 12. Like, it's not an insane amount of damage. Kill the Gas Guzzler. No big surprise there. They drain us for 1 more. And if they swing here... I mean, if we find a creature and then swing, we're lethal. No, because they got the Momentum Breaker. They're actually at 21 life. We would need a big creature to actually still win. Boy, if we could draw our ooze. Ooh, Thrill Roller. Ouch, that would drop us to 6. Ooh, that is tough. I think we have to block Thrill Roller. We'll still take the damage from Terrors, but we don't have lethal on board, and I don't know that we can trust that we're going to get it. Ooze still wins us regardless. I think. District Mascot, not really the best. 14. They'll hit us for 2 next turn regardless. Yeah, so we got to get in here. I think we then swap this to the mascot so that we have a big blocker if they drop Throw Roller back from the grave or if they've got another card. They actually kind of messed up there. They could have done Throw Roller, but now they don't have the mana. So Pilot's the only thing that comes down. If we've got a couple of chances to win here. Great Fang Chroniclers. I just don't know if it does it. We can't equip this at insta speed. We're gonna take 2 in the air here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and saddle. But I just don't think it matters. Yeah. They'll drop us to 1, and then they've got the flying. Oh, and this doesn't trigger until we also do the double team, so... Alright, cool. Good game. Just barely lost that. There was a lot of draws that would have won it. Unfortunately, we just did not quite find them. I do wonder if there was some user error there, too. There might have been a way to sneak in that last 8 damage. I did not see it, obviously, but I do think it could potentially have been there by a better pilot. All right. I don't know what that hippo's name is. This seems like a pretty okay opening hand. Yeah, we can play this. I think turn 1 Surveil makes the most sense here. We have no turn 1. I will leave Soul on top. Soul is not bad. Okay, they're playing Canal, so they're one of 2 decks. I don't remember which one has the Wrench, but I'm pretty sure it's the Exhaust deck. We can play Verge here. Does not matter. We'll go ahead and play out a Routeway Moose. It's actually kind of cool from a lore perspective, too. So the Mooses know how to go around the Routeways, like between planes, or is this just like on the track, which would be way less cool? And no, this is actually the discard deck. Cool, I wanted to see this. Shines again, right? Like, it's such a good card. And then I'll attack with my 4/4 Moose. They take it to face. They can get me a deck for at least 3 damage here. Probably more if they have a discard. Ooh, that's a neat looking island. I like that. Flyby, nice. Mako, nice. They are doing the thing, and we have no board wipes. This might go through us. Oh, we finally find the slime. Great Fang Collar. I mean, it's just gotta be Veteran Beast Rider, though, right? Swing the 4. It's gonna untap. They don't block it. They get a little bit of damage in the air, but not much. Oh, I should have saddled. That was dumb of me. Yeah, we might have had Ultimus. That very well could have decided the game right there is not saddling the moose. Shoot. Alright, they are going to get 2 discards. This is going to be huge for them. One of them doesn't go off till next turn, I think. 2 damage. Verge. Anything else? Okay. Oh, and they played it, I think. We all get flying. That's actually, well, you don't, but that's fine. Yeah, 3 mana. Okay. Maybe we play the Lynx for the life, but I don't think so. I think we're supposed to play the Soul here, right? Nah, I don't know. I think it's Moose. Moose is just a significantly bigger body. And the Trawler is almost certainly going to be able to survive. We can tap you. Do we swing with the Beast Rider? I don't think we can. I think we gotta not swing with the Beast Rider. Double team triggers. Moose triggers. Seat of Forest. Great Fang Chroniclers puts another Great Fang Chroniclers into my hand without the double team this time. They go down to 5. End turn, everything untaps. Now we don't keep the flying. But this is looking pretty hard for them. Brew of 2. Okay, does that have haste? It does. Menace and haste. They could also do the sloop, though I don't think that's right for them. But maybe they don't need the goblin. Yeah, that's what they decide. They don't need the goblin. We'll take the 3/3 instead. I think we can just eat this and win the game, right? 2, 4, 6, 9, 12, 14 damage. And then they get the discards for, so that's 17. So they just barely have lethal, except that we have a ton of valid blocks now. Right? Like, totally fine. Play a canal. And that's going to be game. Yeah, and they scoop. We still didn't get to play the slime. It's unfortunate. Yeah, I think we chose the deck well. We saw it play against most of the decks, if not all of them. We did not get the mirror match, which is unfortunate. And I really felt like the heavy creatures was definitely a good way to go. Mutant Surveyor is my reward, and I think that's dumb because I'm pretty sure it's in the Mastery Pack or something. Or at least in the Mastery rewards that you can pay the orbs for. Oh well, you get what you get. Fun deck. I do, at least on occasion, like to play the Alchemy stuff. Again, everyone's got their opinions on it. If you played this far, or if you watched this far, thank you. Consider liking and subscribing. But you might actually like Alchemy as well. Yeah, I still think Fast and Frantic looks good. If you like that deck more than We Ride at Dawn, go for it. The rest of the 3, I'm just not convinced about. I think you can get the 3 wins with them. But if you're looking for a quick 3-0, wins, it's Fast and We Ride at Dawn. Followed next by probably Totally Exhausted, and then Ready for Takeoff and Shiver Me Timbers are probably about equal. We actually did not see Ready for Takeoff. No one I saw play that. Didn't see anyone. Your mileage may differ. Good luck. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this event. If you'd like to see me play some other decks before this ends out on Thursday. That's all, Wizards. Have fun.